Hello to my Aries. All right, Aries. You all have alerted me that your video did not go up. What in the what? Let's get into it then. Let's get into it. You all do have a video over on the Patreon side though, so if you want to go check that one out. So thank you for alerting me. It must have been something in the video that did not allow for it to go up. So thank you for alerting me. Let's get into this one. Let's get into this one. I will make sure I am very careful in what I say so that this video goes up over here. So again, thank you for alerting me. Thank you for alerting me. You know who you are. Let's do it. Talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart. We do have a new moon and a solar eclipse in your sign, Aries, on the 29th. That's this coming Saturday, 29th of March. So let's do it. Talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart. Aries rules first house. That is house of personality, temperament, appearance, self-image, first impression, self-awareness, outlook on life. Let's get it. To intensify psychic talent, Psalm 78. Talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get right into it, Aries. All right, let's go. All right. Let's see what's in your cards. Hopefully you all are having a good Monday so far, wherever you are in the world. Okay. Tower. Someone is having a tower moment, right? So here we have the King of Wands here. So someone is on your throne. So I'm looking at, so we have fifth house right here. Something around romance, creativity, children, projects, fun, self-expression, hobbies, what makes you feel good. So somebody is doing some things like spending time possibly around kind of letting your inner child come out and play, something around that. Somebody is kind of sort of like doing some things around that, spending some time around that, right? You know, so having some memories kind of around that. Having some time, spending some time around that. Right. Thinking like generationally, kind of like going back, possibly having some memories, like maybe kind of like going back in your childhood, going like a total recall around that. Yeah, here we have the Empress card, like memories around like that are growing, like somebody's just having like a total recall of some time, like when you used to have some fun, like when you used to spend time around energies, and just kind of like when you just like more like nostalgic, when you used to have some like maybe childhood memories of energies, you know, and just kind of like and just kind of sort of like maybe some energies you may not talk to anymore, and like maybe some expansive thoughts, because that's what the Tower card is. Tower card is kind of like I said, it's Mars. It's like where you're putting your energy. It's the energy and assertion planet. So somebody is having a total recall right now, and just like kind of like trying to decide where you want to put your energy. Do you want to go back through time, or do you want to think about the future? Do you want to go back through time, or do you want to, you know, the future? Like kind of sort of like trying to decide where you want to put your thoughts. Where do you want to put your thoughts? That's kind of where somebody is right now. So somebody is in prayer warrior mode. Do you want to put your thoughts, you know, do you want to keep it on the throne, or do you want to be kind of in survival mode? What do you want to put your thoughts, right? So here we have the Six of Pentacles here. Right. So two people got paid to do something. Two people got paid to do something. And And so somebody is getting a message. Then we have the Page of Page of Cups here. So 2 people got paid to do something, or somebody's waiting for a message to come in about something. Somebody's waiting for a message to come in. But something was said about you. I believe something may have been said, or you're no longer interested, or you're no longer motivated about what was said about somebody behind your back, right? Let me see. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Yeah, so somebody is sitting on their throne. Like now, your motivation is being on your throne in prayer warrior mode. So somebody is kind of leaving the past behind. You're no longer necessarily worried about what somebody said about you behind your back. Somebody's kind of just like thinking, like just kind of sort of thinking about the past, or, you know, more of like, I want to say like more like nostalgic memories of just kind of like somebody is in, because money is coming across your path. Money is coming across your path. Somebody's really on top of some things, just kind of being in prayer warrior mode. You're on top of some things. Money is coming across your path. Your thoughts are more expansive. Somebody is in this faith mode. You know, you're expanding your thoughts. You got some good news coming in. You're kind of sort of leaving behind emotionally immature energies. Somebody's growing their abundance and their prosperity. I see somebody trying to, somebody's focusing on legacy. Trying to be a little bit more conservative with their time. Somebody's trying to be a little bit more conservative with their time. Trying to rise above any kind of judgment. And not focusing on any kind of obsession with anything. Try not to be obsessed with anything, right? Trying to close out. You're trying to close out cycles. You know, trying to close out cycles. You know, and trying to move on. You know, definitely trying to move on. Yeah, definitely trying to move on. Yeah. And leave the past behind. Yeah. Trying to leave the past behind. Yeah, trying to leave the past behind. Yeah, so somebody's definitely trying to leave the past behind, which is a good thing. Yeah. Trying to focus on thriving, really. Somebody's trying to focus on thriving. And just maybe at a crossroad. Somebody could try to be, you know, at a crossroad. And just, you know, when you're at a crossroad, Source is actually rewarding you for vibrating high when you're at a crossroad. Just taking a minute to just get on your throne, praying about some things, thinking about expansion, not talking about certain things, just meditating. And that's the good thing. Meditating, being in total control of thoughts, right? Here we have the 2 of Swords here. Somebody could have been blindsided by 2 people. 2 people could be in your ear about something. 2 people, 2 loved ones could be in your ear about something, though. What are they talking about? What are 2 people talking about? What are 2 people talking about? Somebody's talking about somebody's love life. Somebody felt blindsided talking about somebody's love life. Who somebody is dating. Oops. What in the world? Somebody was either talking about a Taurus or somebody was talking about an organization. Maybe somebody was talking about somebody's somebody has a Taurus moon, because we're talking about water, because that would be moon. The moon has an affinity with water, so that would be Taurus moon, and somebody has something to do with music. Because I'm seeing this music sign here, this music note. Somebody's being judged, like, excuse me, some kind of gossip. Somebody's gossiping about some shit. Somebody's jumping to conclusions about something. So two people, somebody's in somebody's ear about two people judging somebody. Somebody's in your ear judging, or somebody's in your ear talking about two people. You felt blindsided, or you may have felt blindsided to two people in your ear talking about two people. Anyway, yeah. So somebody was in your ear, people jumping to conclusions, gossiping about something. Yeah, so you may have felt blindsided by something that you're not going back to. Yeah, so it looks like it seemed like you were focusing on something else, and then you got blindsided by people, bringing some gossip to you that you weren't going back to, because it wasn't a whole lot of growth in something. Somebody was bringing some gossip to you about something. Like I said, bringing some hurtful gossip, because like I said, sword energy, sword energy, like just some hurtful gossip. Um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, something you weren't going back to anyway. Looking at your cards here, but looking at the cards, the Justice card, Venus is currently retrograde. So when I talk about retrogrades, I always talk about slowing down, just slowing down. And planets are retrograde. So Mercury and Venus are currently retrograde, and slowing down. So Justice connects us with seventh house, and that's about marriage, relationships, partnerships, business contracts, inner desires, enemies, those kind of things, right? So source is saying to you, you know, don't be an enemy to yourself by returning to something that's not a bunch of growth. There's no growth in something emotionally. And source is saying to you, there's a, whoever these two energies are, there is a person who wants their wish fulfilled because they feel like some kind of injustices. Well, there's two energies who feels like there was an injustice done to them, who wants a wish fulfilled. Where is that card? Where's the card? Where's the card? Where's the card? From the past. Put these two cards right here. I'm looking at Saturn here, and they want something fulfilled. That would be Saturn. It's the World card here. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Yeah, so yeah, so looking at the cards here. Yeah, looking at the cards here. Somebody feels like because there's a message of somebody wants to send a message of an enemy, that they are an enemy. This is so weird. This is really, really weird. This is really, really weird. This reading is strange. But so yeah. So I'm seeing, okay, so again, I'm talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart, So not necessarily about a Capricorn, because you could have Capricorn in your birth chart. So when I talk about zodiac signs, I'm talking about different houses as well. So 10th house. I'm talking about your north node. So find out what your north node is in your birth chart. That would be your inner calling, your life path, your inner calling. Find out what your north node is, so that you're not doing an injustice to yourself by not answering your inner call on your life. Find out what your north node is, so that you're not so that you are answering your call on your life. Yeah, so that you're answering the call on your life. Yeah. Yeah, so that you're answering the call in your life. Because that's what I'm seeing here. That somebody is on their throne and trying to answer the call on their lives, and you're learning how to be on top of things, learning how to not be on, not miss the call on your life. That would be doing an injustice to yourself by not answering the call in your life. And I'm seeing a lot of your wishes being fulfilled because you're learning how to be a prayer warrior by getting on top of things and answering the call in your life. Because I feel like you're getting some, you got, I feel like somebody went through a dark night of the soul. I feel like you're learning how to close out cycles. When you're at a crossroad, I feel like you're learning how to go higher when you're at a crossroad. Because you keep going through these rebirths. Somebody is breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. Another thing I'm picking up on too is like someone's ancestors are trying to come through as well. And when I say ancestors, I'm not trying to make it spooky and weird and strange, but I'm saying ancestors come through like their spirit. Somebody carries their ancestor spirit. You know, of course, they're not in human form, but of course, you look like your ancestors, hair, skin. Some people have their same eye color, facial features, skin color, features, those kind of things. That's what I'm saying. Same kind of spirit, walk like them, talk so like some of them, some of the same mannerisms, those kind of things. So you're familiar with, you had the same gifts, some of the same gifts is what I'm saying. So I feel like you and somebody, this is really cool. Wait a minute, hold on, let me slow down. For somebody, Aries, the good news is it's like somebody has, well, this could be combination of loved ones like carrying that same spirit. And again, this is not something strange or spooky. I try to simplify it as much as possible because sometimes people try to make it so outer, worldly and all of this, try to make it strange and spooky and weird, because we all carry like likeness of our ancestors, like the hair color, hair texture, shape of fingernails and skin color and those kind of things, their likeness, maybe walk like them or same mannerisms and those kind of things. But what I'm looking at here is like protection, the same type of energy, like balance here. There's an inner balance. And what they're saying is like there's this protection of the messages that's coming through, of protection, of like this prayer warrior message that's coming through, of these gifts that's coming through, of whenever, and this is really like a message from the ancestors for family, of putting the energy towards being a prayer warrior and not going back to the family fighting, like the infighting of family. This is what this message is. This is like, okay, this is pretty cool, because that's how the family is going to become more harmonious, where people feel like they are able to harness their creativity. Somebody comes from a very gifted family. And that's how people are going to learn how to move on, like move through storms, travel lightly through storms. And that's how the family is going to have learn how to leave behind just feeling overwhelmed by these gifts, these and rise above the judgment of having these spiritual gifts. That's how people are going to learn how to go through their dark night of the soul and leave behind, carrying the burden of having these gifts in this day and time. We're in the and get to their north node. So it's like this, and like not go back to not knowing where to direct their energy. That's where the Tower card comes out. It's a total recall, like a generational recall. This is a judgment card, of rising above the judgment of the gifts and like closing out a cycle. Because people are now starting to be more comfortable with the High Priest and High Priestess gifts. That's what I'm seeing here in the cards. And so what a Justice card comes out is just in a spiritual realm, is more of just don't do an injustice to yourself. Don't be your own worst enemy. And that's what the page energy is, messenger energy. It's like, don't send out a message to the younger generation. That's what this is. Like, don't send out a message to the younger generation lying about your own gifts, the gifts that's been passed down through the generations. And that's what somebody saying here is like, don't judge the younger generation if they're having downloads and dreams, and don't keep that a secret. Don't tell them not to believe that they have gifts. They come from a highly gifted, spiritually gifted family, when they want to wake up to their dreams. And that's what this is. You all are talking about the older generation has a responsibility and duty to teach the younger generation about these gifts. Saying people don't feel comfortable around all of these gifts and talents in the family, and people not speaking up and talking about the wrong stuff. People fighting about the wrong. That's what this is. They say in the family, people are fighting about the wrong stuff. And the Three of Wands is like all of this expansion out here, and people are fighting in the family about the wrong stuff as far as gifts are concerned. And leave all the foolishness behind. This is the Fool card in upright. Close out these cycles. Leave all the foolishness behind. Rise above the. So this is like somebody's grandfather, father or grandfather, saying people are spending time accepting money. Like it's like two people accepted money to sacrifice a Capricorn right here in the family. This music is something has to do involve something around music, and an Aquarius move on from something, blindsiding somebody. Then somebody wants to thrive, and here's a master manipulator in the card. There's something about some kids, all this craziness going on. But then there's somebody here in the car who crossed over. Somebody says somebody couldn't come back, and people are fighting. All this craziness that's going on. And sources saying there's loved ones in the cars that's saying people are lying to the generation, the younger generation, about all of these psychic gifts in the family, and the older generation is not teaching the younger generation about all of these musical gifts, creative gifts, spiritual gifts in the family. And people keep getting blindsided by all of this stuff, and you got all of these gifts in the family that people are not teaching. And so somebody they're saying rise above everybody keep getting blindsided when the whole family got keys to all of this information. But people keep dealing with these vain, vengeful, and green with envy spirits, and the older generation won't teach the younger generation stuff. That's how the family keeps getting blindsided. Wow. So that's why this came out. So to intensify psychic gifts, Psalm 78. Yeah. And that's why there's watchdog. This is really ancestral watchdogs. And so when you talk about when the Ten of Pentacles comes out, it's really saying, it's like from the ancestral side, they're really saying everybody has their legacy. Everybody has their way of building their legacy. Everybody has their idea of what their legacy is. And so sources, and they're saying be conservative with legacy. Be conservative with how you want to build your legacy. Be very conservative with how you want to build your legacy. The light is being shown on something. Light is being shown on something. And so this is a light is being shown on 5th house, right? And so somebody is going to, like it's like the younger generation is basically like they're gonna go with whatever feels best for them. This is the younger generation is gonna go with what feels best for them. So if the older generation is not going to teach the younger generation, they just going to go with what feels better. So that's what this is right here. So the sun is illuminating the moon. So if the older generation is not teaching, this is what this whole reading is about. So if the older generation is not teaching the younger generation that all of these gifts exist in the family, that's what this is right here. The younger generation is just gonna go by, okay, so they'll if it's just about, okay, this is how you can make fast money. They don't care how they're gonna make the money. If that means throwing their own family up under the bus, then whatever, that's what they're gonna do. And that's what this is right here. They don't care. And so that's how, source is saying, so something is happening here. Something major is happening here. So source wants somebody, I don't know who's watching the video, but source is saying, okay, it's time to intensify the psychic gifts. Because people are, either you can watch over your legacy from the other side, or you can watch over your legacy from 3D, 5D, however you're watching over the legacy. So you can watch over from like this right here, with blindfolds on, where other people are in your ear, or you can, your third eye, you can open up your third eye, or you can have a whole bunch of people in your ear. You can rise above the judgment or be under judgment. But yeah. But that's what it is. That's what's happening. So it's saying make a decision. Yep. But that's what this is. So it's saying make a decision. Make a decision. Yep. Make a decision. So that's what this is. That's what this is. Well, all right, y'all. Well, all right. Somebody gonna be making a decision, a very firm decision about some things, because these are somebody's making a quick decision about some things. Somebody's making a very quick decision about some things. And the message is fast. They're going to make a quick decision about which direction you headed in. Are you moving forward or are you moving backwards? Which way are you going? Yep, that's what Source is saying. You have a lot of ideas. Are you using your air to go backwards or are you using your air to go forward? So it's like, you know, this right here. Manhole cover over it, or you're going to be pulled into something. You're going to put a manhole cover over something, or you're going to be pulled into something. So there it is. I don't know who that message is for, but it's for somebody. It is for somebody. Anyway, a fiery climax approaches. There you go. It's not going to be a full moon in your sign. We actually have a new moon in your sign, but fiery climax approaches, but something is happening. But there's a tarot card. Total recall of something. But yeah, ancestors have stepped up on the scene. All right, journal. Total recall. So it's like it's time to get off the fence, step into the light, become enlightened about. And again, it's just a total recall. A total recall. You know, a total recall of some things. But this is generational. That's what the judgment card is. It's a total recall of some things, right? And we have loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plane instead of the egos. So there's really no way to, you know, you can't edge Source out of anything, you know. But anyway, that is what I have. That is what I have here, you know, in the cards. Hopefully this has been helpful. I was trying to see if there was, what was the last card? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh. Fast changes. Here we have shedding, time to set higher goals. You're on the right track. Something has just been exhausting. Somebody's a light worker. I don't know how this applies to somebody, but this card just says, beware, love affairs at work rarely end well, I guess. That's just what this card says. You know, and so somebody is pretty independent. Somebody is pretty independent. The card, I mean, the video that I have for you all for the solar plexus, and you'll see it on the other side, is just kind of sort of, and the fact that, Venus is retrograde right now. Venus is, it rules Libra, and it also, and Libra is your polarity sign. Rules 7th house, and Libra is your like I said, polarity sign. That's balance. And so Source is really trying to like help balance somebody out, like in relationships, right? If somebody has a love interest or like make a decision about balancing some things out, like in terms of, I'm seeing marriage here, I'm seeing duality here, I'm seeing see the Lover's card here. This is also balance here. And I see somebody's just a pretty independent energy. You know, somebody is a really independent energy. And it's like Sources, you know, something about love is coming across. And then, of course, we got 2 and 9 here. Of course, love. I'm seeing love here in somebody's card. I feel like somebody really wants... I'm just seeing a lot of balance here in the cards. And I don't know if somebody wants a romantic relationship in their lives. And I see somebody just being a very independent energy here. So I definitely see somebody going into prayer mode, prayer and meditation mode, just for harmony. So something major is happening here in the cards. So sending good energy your way. I'll see you all in the next video. And again, thank you for alerting me that the video didn't go up. I try to keep it as PG as possible. in this video. So hopefully this video goes up and sending good energy. All right, bye.